Okay, team. Now we're going to be talking about thrust, one of the best rocket forces around, and the main thing taking rockets to outer space or as high as they can go. So, thrust is the force that accelerates the rocket through the air on its direction to its journey, and it's produced by rocket engines. Rockets can have multiple engines, such as this one pictured here. In a rocket engine, fuel and oxygen are usually combined and ignited to produce a hot exhaust gas that is under a lot of pressure. The exhaust is then forced through the nozzle and out into the air. The exhaust is expanding into the air, and that causes a significant force on the rocket. Now, the actual details of how much force is created and how that expansion happens is outside the scope of this slide, but it's a great introduction to Newton's third law of motion, which states that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So, by pushing the gas out the back of the nozzle, you're inducing a reaction force that is pushing the rocket forward to outer space. So, the thrust is the main thing produced by the rocket engines taking the rocket to outer space. And the more engines you have and the more powerful they are, the more thrust you will have and the higher performance your rocket will be. So, if you have three engines producing 100 pounds of thrust each, the total thrust acting on the rocket will be 300 pounds. So, here's a couple questions for you to think about before we move to the next force. How could you increase the thrust on a rocket? How could you decrease the thrust on the rocket? And why would you want to decrease the thrust if it's what's taking you on your way to your destination? Good luck.